Good morning, Hojo staff, students, and families. Yateabin. Please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Our voices are off and bodies are still. Eyes are on the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. All right, friends, good morning. Today is Tuesday, October 20th, and we are going to listen to the new music given to us by Mrs. Neff on our playlist on our YouTube channel. Maybe. Okay, that doesn't seem to be working. Let's listen to an old piece of music and we'll come back to it and see if it's working. When I was born, we had TV that had 2 channels, and my brother had to stand there and hold the antenna to make the TV work. So I don't know what it means when the little icon is faded out, but that's what's happened to our YouTube channel. So let's listen to an old piece of music. How about, let's see if you can remember this one. Isn't that so pretty and soft with the piano? Who composed that? Ludwig van Beethoven, that's right. And it is called Verlies. Yes. How about this one? Haven't listened to this one in a while. Do you remember? Same composer. Who was it? Beethoven. And the name of the piece is Ode to Joy. That's a nice title for today. Ode to Joy. Let's have a joyful day today. All right. All right, let's do another one from the same composer. Tell me this one. Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. That's right. Oh, it looks like whatever was wrong with YouTube has been fixed. Maybe. The problem is, though, that the selection that Mrs. Neff has for us, when I play it first, there's usually a commercial. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if we can hear it. remember the piece that we learned yesterday? Who's the composer? Franz Liszt. That's right. And the name of the piece, it's the country that he's from, Hungary, Hungarian, and Rhapsody. Remember the name of the type of composition it is? So Hungarian Rhapsody number 2. That's right, Hungarian Rhapsody number 2 by Franz Liszt. And I hope you got a chance to watch that young man playing the piano. He does it with such flair. Really, it's amazing. So if you get a chance, go on to the Hojo YouTube site where all of our pieces are played. How about this one? Do you remember? Flight of the Bumblebee by Rimsky-Korsakov? Nice. All right, let's do a poem today. We just heard about the bumblebee. Now, the poem this week is about an owl, right? A wise old owl. Isn't it interesting that when we talk about owls sometimes that the word wise is put with that? A wise old owl. And so, what makes an owl wise? Well, in this case, the poem by Edward Hershey Richards gives us some reasons why he thinks an owl is wise. A wise old owl sat on an oak. The more he saw, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why aren't we like that wise old bird? Well, we can strive to be like that wise old bird. When there's a problem and we need to solve it, to be wise, the message here is to not talk as much, but listen more. See what others have to say. Think about it before we say what we want to say. We want to be like the wise old owl sitting on the oak. Okay, friends. Our painter this week, our artist, is Diego Velázquez. That's right. And we even got to see what he looked like, even though he lived 400 plus years ago. So we saw his own picture that he drew of himself, or he painted of himself, right? Diego Velázquez. Interesting. And it does look a lot like the Rembrandts with the dark backgrounds and the shadows. It's hard to even see when we put the Rembrandts up, the distinction in the different images on his painting because it's so dark. And this is similar. So that was the style at the time, I guess, to have dark backgrounds and dark, shadowy. So this is Diego Velázquez. And do you remember yesterday we talked about how the king of Spain at the time was King Philip IV, and he made Velázquez part of like the royal family, the group of people who were considered royal because of his skill in painting, and that he was so accurate in how he portrayed and painted people. Well, don't you think the king got a portrait painted of himself? Yes, he did. In fact, there's probably several. But this one, in fact, they had to be specific because this one is King Philip IV in brown and silver. I'm not sure how many other colors he was painted in, but this was painted in 1632, long time ago. And this, are you curious to see what the King of Spain looked like in 1632? Well, we know Velázquez painted all his portraits very accurately, so I think we have a good depiction of what King Philip IV of Spain looked like when he was wearing brown and silver in 1632. That's him. Pretty amazing. No cameras back then, right? So they had to take portraits and they had to sit for portraits. Isn't it interesting to see the outfits that they wore at the time? Can you imagine getting dressed for work or school and this is what you had to put on? And that's what they all wore. That sort of style, the short pants and the capes and the high collars. Interesting how fashion has changed over the years. Well, we're going to see some more paintings from Diego Velázquez. But don't forget, very important, we have the White House here, right? Front and back of the White House. And do you notice what this says right here? I voted, right? Because we are having an election right now for the next executive, the chief executive officer of the United States and the armed forces would live in this building. The executive branch of our government is run by the president, and we are having an election. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure all of your family and friends who are over 18 years old have one of these stickers. So the election isn't until 2 more weeks, but you can vote early, and that's what I did. So we didn't have to wait in line. So I voted. I wish that meant that I didn't have to listen to the commercials anymore, right? Because I've already voted. But I do for a couple more weeks. So make sure, ladies and gentlemen, all your friends and family members who are over 18 have one of these stickers. Shows they voted. If we don't vote, we can get lazy about our freedoms. And then somebody else can take those away. So make sure you exercise your right to vote if you know somebody who is over 18. All right, what's this building? U.S. Supreme Court. And what is this building? U.S. Capitol Building. Can I stump you with one that we haven't looked at in a while? Oh, the Jefferson Memorial. How about this one? The Lincoln Memorial. And what's on the walls inside that Lincoln Memorial? The words of the Gettysburg Address. That's right. Okay, friends, someday we'll go there. Next, we want to do the amendments to the Constitution. So we already know the preamble. That's how the Constitution starts. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. And it's listed all the reasons why we have a Constitution. And so now we come down to the end. It tells us about the different branches of government, which there are 3. We talked about the executive, and we saw the judicial, which is the Supreme Court, and the legislative, which is where the U.S. Capitol Building is. So we have the branches of government and how government works and all of that. But then we have, at the end, we have to protect the rights of people. And so James Madison created the first 10 amendments, which became ratified in 1791. And we have the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution. And let's practice the first 3 we've been studying, and we're going to add the 4th one today. Now, the 4th one talks about illegal searches and seizures. So in our country, in the United States, it's against the law for the police or armed people to come into your home and search for things. So they can't just bust in your door and without reason or what we call probable cause with a warrant signed by a judge in order for somebody to go before them and make an oath and promise that everything in the warrant is true. They can't come to your house and search your stuff. They can't take your laptop. They can't take your stuff out of your car. They cannot take stuff out of your pockets. They cannot go into your house and go through your things, whether you're there or not. They can't do it. Even if they come upon and they come to your house for another reason, they're not allowed to just go and search your stuff, because we have a 4th Amendment right that protects us from that. You know, it's not that way in some countries. In other countries, they don't have a 4th Amendment and they don't have that law, and the police can come in and do whatever they want. It's true. But in the United States, we have the 4th Amendment to protect us from unlawful searches and seizures. A person has to go before a judge swear an oath that the things are true, and they have to give reasons why they need to go and search your property. And a judge has to decide and sign a warrant, and then they have the right to come and do a search. But until then, they cannot. So that's our Fourth Amendment. So let's do the first three together, and then we'll practice the fourth one for the first time today. So, First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Third Amendment. Let's try to say it together. No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner prescribed by law. Okay, Fourth Amendment for the first time today. I'll say it, you repeat it. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Okay, that's the Fourth Amendment. We'll practice that again tomorrow and learn those things. They have to be particular, right, about who they're searching and what. They can't just get a blanket search and just go get whatever they want. They have to be very specific. So those are very important rights, and they come up all the time. Not too often do people have to have a redress of grievances on the Third Amendment about no quartering of soldiers in their homes. But unlawful searches and seizures comes up a lot. And so we want to learn that one thoroughly. Okay, friends, no birthdays today. Remember that we have some materials here for you to pick up. If you come to school, you can just get them at school. If you need to, send a family member to come pick them up. They're here at the school. So any materials for second quarter. Hopefully we'll have report cards out by Friday, I'm hoping, for the first quarter. And it's Bring Your Family to PE Week. So make sure you check out all the things that Mrs. Toledo Ballet has put on the canvas for us. That's all we have for today. So let's do our student pledge. I will do the good, I will learn the true, and I will love the beautiful. And I hope you have a great day today.